Need high-quality video to promote your event, business, or band? We can help.
We're Pixel Pond, a video production team based in the Pacific Northwest, providing high-quality content to clients across the U.S. and Canada.
Whether you want coverage of your live event to promote for next year, or need a camera and a camera operator for your next big project, we can accommodate projects of all sizes.
Your story is important. Visit pixelpondllc.com or send an email to info@pixelpondllc.com to get started today. We can't wait to work with you.
Coming up on Gamers Week podcast. All right, last up, the Witcher 3 devs debated for so long over how naked Geralt should be in the RPG's opening bathtub scene that it became one of the longest email threads in the company's history. When he gets up from the bath, how much butt should we show?
I think what I'd like to see in The Witcher 4 is like more under cheek, you know, like from like a gooch shot, you know? No, like a gooch shot. Yeah. I want like a cinematic camera pan from like gooch out, you know?
Right. It's European. It's artistic.
Yeah. Right. This is art.
Cinematic gooch shot.
Yeah. I'll put the gooch shot next time. There we go. Okay, so I can...
Now it's smooth like butter.
Yes. You wouldn't know it, but I am an audio guy.
That's okay. If that's one thing our viewers are used to, it's technical difficulties, like right up to and usually after the point we go live.
All good. Very excited to be on this podcast. I have been on a bit of a podcast tear lately. I recorded another podcast earlier this week, and then I was just talking to Pat about our next one. So I'm just going to keep just cranking them out, I think. I always love these, so thank you for having me.
Yeah, I now use Pat to vet our guests. So whoever is good enough for his show, I'm like, cool, they're probably good enough for our show.
Put them on.
Let him do the homework, and then we'll take it from there. Thanks, Pat.
Yeah, thanks, Pat. Yeah,
shout out to Pat.
Yeah, he's a great guy.
Are you an N64 fanboy like he is?
So I actually have a great story about that. I'm actually
Okay, you know what? It's not going to work. Cancel the episode. Forget it.
I am what they like to call a Sony pony, I think. So, yeah, I'm a big Sony guy. I have Kratos' axe on my wall back there.
Oh, okay.
That's
I
so
see
cool.
that.
Yeah, that's a real axe, too. Not sharp, but I should sharpen it though, just like in case anyone...
Yeah, if somebody tries to break
in here. Yeah. I live in Philly, so I should probably have some sort of bladed weapon nearby at all times.
Just imagine you like meeting them at the door, like the Kratos face paint.
The full thing. Thing. Just ready to go.
Epic.
They're like, we don't want anything you have.
My bad. We're just going to.
My bad.
I'd love to hear more about what you're selling.
Right.
All right. Are we ready?
I think we're ready.
Let's do this
I'm
thing,
game.
man.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Okay. And that's why I will never have Pat's or Gino's cheesesteaks ever again. They're dead to me.
All right.
We're live.
Let them die. Yeah. Let them die.
That's a conversation for another day, people. We are live tonight. My name is donniegretro, and we are live with... Actually, I don't even know why I'm doing this. Sorry, this is...
Yeah.
This is Blue's.
It's like fault. You forgot how we normally do the show.
Yeah, my fault. Take it away, Blue.
All right. Welcome in, everyone, and welcome to Gamers Week Podcast. Like the name says, we analyze the best, worst, and weirdest headlines of the past week in the video game industry. This is episode 168, and today is Wednesday, June 4th, 2025, and happy Switch 2 release eve, everyone who is celebrating.
Whoop,
hello. Congratulations.
Hello.
My name is Blue Williams, and I'll be your host for this evening. But as you can see, I am not alone. I am joined by two fine co-hosts. My first co-host would do anything for love, but just don't ask him. The best way to dispose of a dead body in only 1 hour. Everyone, please give it up for the one and only Donnie G.
I thought I had some great ways to get rid of it, but every single one I had, Blue was always there to block me. Like, oh, what about this? What about this? You just asked for the overall, like the grand overall picture. You didn't go into specifics. So I feel like I was railroaded. I'm
just helping to keep you out of prison.
I can keep myself out of prison. Thank you very much.
Didn't sound like it on Monday or whatever.
Sounds like a rough weekend, yeah?
Just a normal weekend around here.
Yeah.
Right.
And as you can see, my second co-host is busy celebrating his birthday by dressing up as Marilyn Monroe and singing to himself in the mirror. That's right. Ryan is absent tonight, but in his place, we are joined by Paul, aka the Gamersician. He's a gamer, musician, and YouTuber with one hell of a killer channel. Paul, thank you so much for joining us tonight.
I would like to say thank you for having me. This has been great getting to chat now, and I'm looking forward to having a fantastic podcast here.
I think it's going to be an amazing time.
Oh, yeah.
Same here.
So for anybody who may not be familiar with you and what you do, could you introduce yourself to everybody?
Yeah. So as you heard there, I am the Gamersician. That is gamer plus musician. I am a former rapper, producer, turned producer, YouTuber, turned video editor, turned, pretty much anything that I have to do to keep my channel afloat. The YouTube channel I have is largely about retro games, but I do also cover more modern games as well. Lots of retrospectives, lots of music discussions within my videos. And I loved the state of play today, so I'm just really antsy to talk about that with you guys right now. So, all the formalities out of the way. That's what I'm super hyped about today.
Hell yeah. I have been working through the content on your channel, and I went on to watch your most recent video about Suikoden.
Yeah.
And then I got sidetracked by the Kingdom Hearts one because I love Kingdom Hearts.
Yes. That was such a fun video to make. It still stands. That first Kingdom Hearts video still stands as my most viewed video. I learned very quickly how fervorous Kingdom Hearts fans are. They just found it and they just pounced on me. And I had, I think, maybe 100 subscribers at the time. And after all that whirlwind, I think I had a little over 1,000 after they all
that's a huge jump.
Ran at it. Yeah, it was a huge, great experience, but the YouTube algorithm is a tough beast to crack. So I just keep trying to make content that I love, and hopefully it resonates with some people.
Of course.
So.
Yeah, for sure.
Yep.
All right. Well, thank you again for joining us. And everyone, when you're done with the show tonight, be sure to head on over to Paul's channel. We will have all the relevant links in the show notes and check out everything he has to offer.
Thank you. Thank you.
But for now, let's get everything started with our reviews, reactions, and requests. Mogak says, I haven't thought about MechWarrior 2 in nearly 30 years. Played it at my grandparents' for a few consecutive summers while in my early teens. I'm pretty sure they bought it for grandkids, and that game would pretty much only be used by me at that point. They really made an effort, and I loved it. Always nice when parents or grandparents go out of their way. Like, here, kids, here, play video games.
Yeah. I was raised with two very older women, and they knew nothing about video games. So I could pretty much tell them what I wanted. Like, I was like, I want Mortal Kombat. And I'm 6 years old. And I'm like, here you go. Like, I don't know what that is. But he asked for it. So it was nice because I never had any censorship. I could just go ask for pretty much whatever I want. And unless my mom caught wind of it and was like, oh, that's off the table. But, I just didn't tell her.
Yeah. What mom doesn't know can't hurt her.
Exactly.
Michael LeKite says, I used AOL Hell to IM bomb trolls, assholes, and ones who pretended to be AOL security. What was great about the program was you could put any message you wanted to bomb someone with. So I often quoted special moves from the Marvel superheroes arcade games. Good times.
Michael, samesies.
And did you quote Marvel superheroes arcade game at
That
people?
I did not. Almost the same.
Almost the same. Close enough. And Sheriff Snack says, I got my mom's AOL account suspended back in the day for message bombing randos on AIM.
That'll do it.
Was that the start of like where everybody would just like troll everyone? Did all that start on like AIM, or maybe? I don't know.
I think it had to have.
I'm gonna say that was the incubator, you know?
Yeah, because AOL, like when that was the ultimate platform, unless you're talking about IRC and those kind of chat rooms, which not a lot of people knew about, coming to the actual the collective public, the mainstream, that would have been AOL and those chat rooms and Messenger.
Yeah,
I don't know. I feel like trolling is inherent in human nature. Like probably back in caveman days, they were leaving each other troll messages scratched into the rocks.
Yeah, it's quite wild when you think about the access that we have to each other now, though, you know, just like to
and
just
where we've come
hop
from.
on. Yeah. Just like hop on the internet and just can talk all manner of shit to whoever you want at any given time. It's a crazy world, you know,
for good or ill. Yes.
So cavemen would be leaving like messages carved in stone, like, oh, here for fire, 9:00 Saturday. And somebody would get here and like, there's nothing there. Like,
got him.
Grok make bad fire.
I love that.
All right, let's move on to our patron shout-outs.
We couldn't do what we do without the help of our gorgeous patrons. Here are the generous folks supporting Gamers Week on Patreon. Retro Blast Pat, BNT Zilligai, The Mad Milkman, Seven Castle Forest, Crunchy Kong, Sheriff Snacks, Frank Grande, Love Retro BTW, Steven Sand, Ramboski, Terry Kinnair, Don't Make Me Pull This Car Over, Games with Coffee, Hybrid Divide, You Fall Before Me, Davey PGH, The Pixel Pond Family, including Shannon and Luke, Zach Huge Thanks, Puzzle Butter, Number One Blue Sick Boys Fan, John Barron, Sassy Sony, Evo Lust, Rai Wants This Boy's Soul, Mega Retro Man, Game of Troid, Maura Deeb, Michael, and of course, with the birth of the artist, came the inevitable afterbirth, the critic, LaKite, Emo-esque, Bill Tucker, You Know, The Bleeps, The Sweeps, and The Creeps, Fruitcakes, I Hate It When My Schwartz Gets Twisted, Pickled Pepper, that was a tongue twister right there, Ducks with Thick Thighs, Absolutely the Best Podcast, A Work in Progress, Bops and Dugnut, Blues Little Sis, and Loud Moth. If you like what you hear today, and we really hope you do, please consider joining us on Patreon. Your support helps cover the cost of producing the show, as well as other cool stuff we'll be doing like prizes and giveaways. You'll also gain access to our bi-weekly patron-only bonus cast called Gamers Week Uncut, Patrons with Benefits. Visit patreon.com/gamersweek or follow the link in the show notes to learn more.
It's so cool to like see your patrons, and I see a lot of names that I recognize, and it's just really awesome to see the gaming community support each other. So shout outs to all your patrons.
Yeah, it's awesome. I love seeing the community that is built over the years. And then
for sure,
much of this community migrated from Twitter over to Blue Sky.
Yep.
And it's been really amazing.
It has been great. I do not miss that place at all.
We are still technically on there. But,
I am too.
Yeah. Blue Sky is home for now.
Yes. Facts.
Yes. All right. Let's move on to our headline segment.
This headline segment is proudly sponsored by Absolutely the Best Podcast, a work in progress. Each episode, George and Zach discuss and rank all the best things, starting with deep dives into every movie in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. This week, they've got a trivia question for us. The 1996 Sinbad-led comedy First Kid features a shopping mall scene in which the titular character plays what virtual reality game? Visit them at absolutelythebest.net or follow the link in the show notes down below.
All right, boys, what do you think? As usual, I have the answer because I'm special.
I'm having a hard time thinking what virtual reality game would have been out in 1996.
Was it like something from the Virtual Boy? Was that out in 90? Didn't that come out in 96? Yeah.
Yeah, that would have been out by that time.
Yeah. Was it like...
I wouldn't classify that as virtual reality, though. Right. That's just 3D.
Right.
Damn. It's throwing me for a loop. I'm not really sure.
So it was a game played in one of those big stand-up VR machines. The Virtuality 1000 CS arcade unit.
Was that the yellow one with the helmet?
Black and blue, but it does have the big headpiece.
I'm going to tap out here because I literally don't know. I have no guess.
Yeah, that's not ringing a bell.
Nothing viable, I should say.
No. Okay. So, well, I want to say that Zach believed that Donnie, you and Ryan would both get this. And so I'm sure he is terribly disappointed right now. Down. I know. Right? He may never recover from this. The answer is
redacted.
Never heard of it.
What is that? What is
redacted?
A small and simple, fast-paced, jumpy, first-person multiplayer shooter.
Okay.
1 to 4 players, virtuality.
All right, I'm seeing a little bit of the gameplay for this thing, and yeah, that looks exactly like mid-early 90s virtual reality.
It looks a little bit like if Fisher-Price made the graphics for the game.
96, you know? It was a good year.
Yeah.
Sorry, Zach. Didn't mean to disappoint you.
Sorry, Zach.
The real question is, do you guys remember that Sinbad movie that people swear doesn't exist?
But, yeah.
But I believe it 100% existed. The like one with him as a pirate or something.
It was a genie.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. He was a genie. And
I thought that the movie was Shaq, where Shaq was the genie.
Well, there was a movie with Shaq as a genie.
Yeah.
Okay.
This is the whole Mandela effect that they're trying to pull. Like, it was so horrible that now they can scrub everything that they want to.
Exactly. Yeah. I truly believe
Shaq was Kazam. Who was Sinbad?
Yes. There was Shazam.
Yes.
For Shaq, I think.
No, that's Kazam.
That's Sinbad. Sorry. Shazam, whatever. Potato, tomato.
Yeah, whatever. They all were terrible movies, so, you know.
Yeah, okay. All right. Let's move on to this week's headlines. The summer gaming reveal season is upon us, and with PlayStation swooping in at the last second with a new State of Play live stream. Today's event featured over 40 minutes of reveals, updates, and world premieres from both first and third-party developers. Here are the highlights from the showcase. A new entry in the Lumines puzzle series, Lumines Arise, is coming from Enhance and Monstars. The debut trailer showed gameplay resembling Enhance's previous project, Tetris Effect, with psychedelic backgrounds and flashes of light. Lumines Arise is scheduled for a fall 2025 release.
I'm going to tell you guys, I was so excited when I saw this. You guys, this game series is my favorite. Like, when we're talking about just straight up puzzle games, I love Luminous. So I've always said Luminous. I've also heard Lumines. I've heard it said a million different ways, but
Lumines.
Yeah, right. But I always loved these games, and I love Tetris Effect. That's my number 2 favorite puzzle game of all time. So when this popped up first, I was like, yes, this is for me. This is for me. Thank you.
Nice.
Oh my goodness. Very hyped.
What comes after dreaming? The trailer for Pragmata began with a simple question and turned into a first look at gameplay for Capcom's mysterious third-person action game. This is the first trailer for Pragmata since its debut trailer at the PlayStation Showcase in June 2020. Pragmata is set to launch in 2026. And Romeo is a Dead Man is a third-person action game in the ultra-violent science fiction genre, according to the trailer at least, from Grasshopper Manufacture. The debut video showed off bloody, over-the-top gameplay and a 2026 release window.
A new entry in Koji Igarishi's Bloodstained franchise, The Scarlet Engagement, was revealed for the first time. The debut trailer showed Metroidvania-style gameplay, multiple characters and costumes, and more. The Scarlet Engagement will launch in 2026. A remastered version of Square Enix's classic Final Fantasy Tactics, The Ivalice Chronicles, was confirmed after months of rumors. Both an enhanced version and the classic 1997 PlayStation 1 version will be available in one package, giggity, on September 30th.
Oh, man.
Ninja Gaiden's upcoming Metroidvania-style adventure Ragebound saw a new trailer premiere during the State of Play. The trailer showed off multiple areas, enemies, and attacks, and confirmed a July 31st launch date. Digital Eclipse and NetherRealm Studios are partnering for Mortal Kombat Legacy Collection, which will feature arcade, console, and handheld versions of multiple Mortal Kombat games. The collection is due for release in 2025. And in related news, the first fight stick ever designed by Sony, codenamed Project Defiant, was shown off for the first time. No release information was announced during the State of Play, but we did get our first look at the device. Koei Tecmo surprised Nioh fans next with the next installment of the samurai action RPG. Not only was Nioh 3 confirmed for a 2026 release, but a demo was also released today.
The classic stealth game Thief makes its virtual reality debut on PSVR 2 with Thief VR, Legacy of Shadow. The debut trailer showed an agile thief hiding in the shadows, pickpocketing enemies, and taking them out with a crossbow. Thief VR launches later this year. The next project from Abzu and the Pathless developer Giant Squid Studios, Sword of the Sea, combines skateboard-style movement with a story about restoring a lost ocean in a dying world. The State of Play trailer confirmed an August 19th release date for the upcoming title. After the name was revealed earlier this week, IO Interactive brought our first look at gameplay for its upcoming James Bond adventure 007 First Light. The game will launch in 2026 and more gameplay will be shown later this week at the IO Interactive Showcase. The final announcement of the show was a brand new Marvel fighting game, but not one with Capcom at the helm. Instead, Arc System Works, in partnership with PlayStation Studios, has announced Marvel Tokou Fighting Souls, a 4-on-4 tag fighting game featuring heroes and villains from the Marvel Pantheon. The first trailer showed Captain America, Iron Man, Spider-Man, Doctor Doom, Storm, Miss Marvel, Star-Lord, and Ghost Rider.
TKN85 says, the most shocking part of this State of Play is that they're still making PSVR 2 games.
That is wildly accurate. I don't even know.
Yeah, I'll tell you, things I did not have on my bingo card for the week were a new Nioh, a new Bloodstained, a new Thief.
Yep.
Like, there were some bonkers announcements.
I know.
What were your guys' favorites from today?
Well, I already kind of buried the lead. I forgot the format of this. I apologize. I jumped in immediately like, Luminous. But like, my brother and I were just talking about this earlier. This is the most gamersician coded State of Play of all time. Like, they hit me with some really big things. So I was obviously super excited about Luminous Arise, but then I've been following Pragmata, and it looked like a really cool game when they first showed it, and like they kind of just stopped showing anything about it. So I was excited to see that as well. The Bloodstained reveal was super exciting, obviously, and seeing Final Fantasy Tactics again about made me do a backflip. That was probably the biggest surprise for me, though it sounded like there was some signs that it was coming. So I was really hyped about that. And then to close it out, the Marvel fighting game from Arc System Works, 4-on-4 fighting. What? I don't even understand how this is going to work, but I'm on board because they never dropped the ball. And the new game from Giant Squid Studios looks incredible too. So I was just pleased as punch from a lot of this stuff.
Yeah, Mr. Blue, I was watching the State of Play and he was in the kitchen doing something. And when he heard the Final Fantasy Tactics music, he ran into the living room like, what's that? It's like it's Final Fantasy Tactics. It's not a new game.
But it feels new, you know. I'm
it feels
so
new,
excited.
and that music triggers
Yes.
that exact response.
Yep.
That's what Square Enix wants, is that response, and yeah, it works 100%.
We are officially the age group that they are just like, they have the money now, and they have the nostalgia, and so they just know, like, if they release these games again, we'll all buy them again. I mean, I already pre-ordered it, so like they already got one guy on the hook immediately. So you know,
Limited Run has had the formula down when they started re-releasing all of these games with the special editions and everything like that. Seeing as how the market is going away from physical games, now we're getting physical releases of the classic games and all that stuff, and these little cool collector things too. So yeah, our age group now has the disposable income, so to speak, to kind of go out and get these things where we didn't as kids. So yeah, they know their target audience, and they're all too happy to sell them to us.
Yes.
I mean, anytime you two want to stop calling us old, that would be great.
Well,
season.
And we have the financial backing now. So we're the ones that are like, you come by. Well, theoretically, yes. In theory, us more broadly, I'll say. Yeah. Also, I saw the Metal Gear Solid 3 trailer looked really great. I never got to even finish that game back in the day. So this is my chance to finally finish it. So I'm super excited for that as well.
I wonder why Blue was selective with not putting that one in the notes.
I left off the stuff that we already knew was going to be released. You notice I didn't mention Ghost of Yotei either, even though that had a little tiny teaser that showed you get like a wolf best friend to go do your bidding.
Oh, so
and I'm
cute.
so here for that.
Yes.
A 10-second cinematic? Come on, you can skip that one, okay? This was a full, like, several-minute gameplay look of Snake
Metal
Eater.
Gear Solid Delta is an old game. I'm sorry to say it.
Damn.
It's an old game.
You just said don't say old.
It
Rules for thee, but not for me,
Seasoned
right?
game.
Yeah.
There you go.
Seasoned game. We've seen it before.
It's a seasoned game. What really excited you guys though?
So let's see. Pragmata, I was like, I remember this game. It's been a hot minute since we've seen that little girl in the oversized blue coat, but it looks interesting.
Yeah.
Romeo is Dead. That trailer, actually, when they showed it, it actually made me go, oh shit, because that poor guy, like 1 second he's just eating curry with his friends, and the next second he's missing half of his face. And as I'm watching this trailer, I'm going, this feels like a Suda 51 game. And then 2 minutes later, there he is on screen saying, here's my new game. So I was like, I knew it. So that kind of gives you a lot of expectations about what that game's going to be like.
Right.
The Bloodstained new game, Scarlet Engagement. I love that series. And as I'm watching it, I'm going, this looks like Castlevania if Castlevania was made in that kind of like faux 3D Metroid Dread style. I was like, I am paying attention to this. And then they said Bloodstained. I was like, yes, thank you. I will have that, please.
Yes.
Yes. The new Ninja Gaiden looks sick, guys.
So sick.
She said Gaiden.
Okay, sorry. Ninja Gaiden. And I should point out that in the showcase they said Gaiden. So that I suppose could be interpreted as canon, but regardless, it looks amazing. It looks amazing. It does. And let's see, new Nioh. I'm here for that. The surprise, I guess, actually for me was the James Bond game.
Yeah, it looked kind of cool, right? Like I was kind of surprised. I was like, oh, this is going to be goofy and kind of, you know, not really all that interesting, but it looked pretty cool. I was like, oh, okay. At first I'm thinking, is this some new Uncharted, Uncharted spinoff?
Yeah.
I was thinking, I was like, is this Uncharted? But then made sense. You know, so
yeah, when they first announced that this game was coming, I was like, I have no idea what to expect from it. And then I'm watching this trailer and I'm going, this feels like Nathan Drake, which is a successful formula. So it makes sense. Why not? But it looked interesting.
Yeah,
and so I don't think I would have been keyed in on a James Bond game normally. But the way this trailer played out, I was like, it has my attention. I'll wait and see.
Very much so.
For sure.
Yeah. What do you think, Donnie?
I mean, this was one hell of a state of play. Typically, whenever I see these things, I'm like, okay, like maybe 2 games tickle my fancy and all that. But this one, almost every single game that they had just rocked my world. Marvel Tokou, are you kidding me? A 4v4 fighting game that has the feel of the old school Marvel v Capcom, Marvel versus Street Fighter. Looks exactly like a Capcom fighting game, but it's not. So we get to see what that's like. Final Fantasy Tactics, never played that one, but because it looks better with the updated graphics. You heard me. I've never played Tactics.
Oh God.
Yeah. I apologize, but I'm thinking about picking this one up.
You should.
Luminous. A lot of stuff going on there on that thing. It looks like a Winamp screensaver from the
don't you dare
from the late 90s, early 2000s. I'm not saying that's bad. It's just for me there was a lot of stuff going on.
I'm out of here. This is blasphemous.
I've played Tetris Effect like a handful of times, so I don't really recall it. But I mean, the game looks completely stellar. Yeah. So once I get into it and get the beat of the music, and you've got puzzle games to solve, I think I could be all in for that one.
Yeah.
Pragmata, like you said, looks interesting. The piggyback system where you got the little girl in your back and she's doing stuff too. Nioh 3 looks amazing. I've never played any game in that series. Mortal Kombat Legacy Collection. It's like, do we need another Legacy Collection? I've got all the original games on my arcade 1-up, but you get online play and you get to play all of the different console versions, even the Game Boy stuff on one collection.
Yeah, pretty cool. I want to see people playing the Game Boy version online.
Online. Yeah, I'll do it.
I want to see those lobbies.
Just unhinged. Just the most unhinged people will be in those lobbies for sure.
Yep.
Silent Hill F.
Oh my God. Yeah. How did we not talk about that one yet? That looked really cool. I thought it was a Fatal Frame. It looked like that at first. Yeah.
Yeah. I gotta say, you guys, and I think I may be the only person on the planet. I'm just not feeling the story.
No,
just not. No, like the whole like teenagers insecurity and we're gonna be friends forever thing. I know like it works in Kingdom Hearts kind of if you buy into it there, but I'm in a different place in my life than I was 20 years ago, and I'm just not feeling it. Yeah. I'm not saying I'm not gonna play it, right? But I'm not as excited as I think I would have been.
Yeah.
You might not be invested in the story.
Yeah, like Simon Ashtier says, angst in all caps. It's not working for me.
Angsty teens.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh.
You know, you got games like Romeo's a Dead Man. It looked like Liquid Television meets Rick and Morty. And that just makes for a hilarious game that I'm going to pick up. Yeah. Right. And it's a third-person shooter with the hack and slash where you can switch back and forth. That, to me, is a cool concept.
Yeah.
Sea of Remnants, Pirate Life is for me, but when it says build, I immediately want to throw up my sails and get the fuck out. Tides of Tomorrow looks like a great BioShock game with like split decision making. Yeah. Thief VR looks very cool, but I feel like I'm going to be throwing up while I'm trying to unhinge a key from somebody's belt. Sword of Sea, Karn, Hirogami. Hirogami looks amazing. Yeah. That looks like it could be like I think it might be an indie developer. I'm not sure, but if it is, that's an indie game of the year.
I feel like it was from, it says Bandai Namco.
Oh, okay, never mind.
Well, that's the publisher, but
the publisher looks like it's Kakahashi Games, but the developer is Bandai Namco is what it says on the internet. But
then it must be true.
It has to be, right?
It has to be.
Yeah.
But that's like a quasi 3D platformer based on origami. So you're playing as a paper character who can fold into different things.
Yeah.
Sword of the Sea gives me Shadow of the Colossus vibes and Ico vibes. Yeah. Ninja Gaiden Ragebound, abso-effing-lutely.
It looks so
There's
dope.
Nothing more to be said about this game.
Yeah.
007 First Light, again, like you said, Blue, it looks pretty amazing. And last but not least, you got Baby Steps. Did you guys see this thing? It's
I left it off for a reason. The main thing that I took away from the trailer, and it's from Devolver Digital. They release unique games, and not everything is going to resonate with everyone. But this is one of those games where you play like this big guy in wool pajamas, and you have to.
How did I miss this?
Control his every step, and so he's kind of like lumbering across this mountainous landscape. God. And the thing is that you're looking at him from the back in his gray wool pajamas, and you can see like the sweat marks go between his butt cheeks. And I was like, that was a detail that I didn't really need. today. So I'm probably just not going to play that.
This game looks crazy. I'm looking at it now, and I somehow missed this trailer. I was cooking while this was happening, so I was like distracted, but I did not see this trailer, and I'm just watching the little clip.
Yeah, you missed
there.
the sweat marks between the butt cheeks, and
I see it now though. I'm like staring at sweaty swamp ass right now, just right at this moment. And I don't think I'm into this game. I think I'm gonna close this tab and move on.
Ramboski says jizzle physics from the back.
Jiggle physics. Yeah. I do love some jiggle physics, but that isn't the kind of jiggle physics I was looking for.
Not prepared for that on just a regular Wednesday. Webhead says swamp ass physics.
Yes, super swampy.
Some sap. This game looks like it would piss me off uncontrollably. Yes. And if getting over it by Bennett Foddy brought me to rage, then this game is definitely going to do the same. So I'm backing away from baby steps.
Back away slowly. Baby steps backwards even.
Slowly.
Titular.
Titular.
All right. Any final thoughts on the state of play before we move on?
Yeah. I just want to say it was, two thumbs up. We've had like a string of just state of plays, and I didn't have the highest hopes for this. I was hopeful with it kicking off the week that it would be really interesting and have some good stuff, but I didn't expect to have like 6 or 7 games that I was like, oh shit, and just like really excited about. So they really nailed it for me. I would say that's a solid 9.5 out of 10 for this guy. I loved it.
Like I was chatting with Paul a little bit before we started recording, because normally if a state of play was coming up, I wouldn't bookmark it as the main story of the show. I would kind of expect it's probably going to be lame. But considering it's a Summer Game Fest week, by the time this episode releases the audio version, it will be Summer Game Fest night. And so there will be a ton of extra news next week. But I figured Sony's not going to show up to Summer Game Fest week with nothing. They're going to come. Exactly. Yeah, they're going to come with something loaded in the barrel. So I was like, I think it's going to work out.
Yeah.
And we were not disappointed.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Next year, we're going to Summer Games Fest. There's, if it's in the States, granted, if it's in the States, if it's not in Belgium or in Germany or wherever,
Cologne.
Summer Games Fest. Yeah.
You don't want to go to Cologne?
I was in Cologne last year, but like a day after.
Oh, damn. Are you serious?
Yes, I'm deadly serious. I was there for work. And it's like, this thing is already going out of town. Great. That's awesome.
Yep. Donnie has the worst timing. Fact.
COD timing.
All right, next up, Nintendo has reportedly begun shipping Switch 2 branded out-of-stock signs to retailers before the console is even gone on sale. Switch 2 is set to arrive tomorrow, Thursday, June 5th, and Nintendo is planning for demand to outstrip console availability. As posted on Reddit, official Switch 2 out-of-stock signs are now turning up at stores in the US alongside the usual advertising for the console and launch game Mario Kart World. Nintendo has already issued warnings over Switch 2 availability, but nearly all successful consoles suffer stock issues upon launch, and Switch 2 customers have already had to scramble in order to lock down their pre-orders. In other words, Switch 2 selling out seems something of an inevitability. Nintendo's out-of-stock signs are of practical use then for store staff likely to be set fielding endless queries about whether they have any Switch 2 consoles still available. Every retail worker knows they'll have 10 people a week, maybe more, stand in front of that sign and yell at them about going to get the extra consoles from the back, like the stockroom is Narnia for electronics, one user replied. At the same time, telling customers that something is out of stock is actually good advertising. This is also a type of advertising, so consumers will want to get it, another fan wrote. It shows that there is high demand and psychologically you feel you need to get it.
FOMO.
Because it's the Chronic. What? Ghouls of Narnia.
Classic.
I have a feeling that people are going to want to get one of these officially branded out-of-stock signs.
Yes. They will be limited edition at some point, and people will be like, I got the out-of-stock sign from the first batch of Switch 2s, and it's now
$5,000
for
the sign.
Oh, my God. I just, so here's a fun fact about me. I was a Nintendo kid growing up, but then my Super Nintendo got stolen when I was a kid. And from that point until the Switch, I never owned a Nintendo console. I mentally took it out on Nintendo. I was like, this is your fault. So
Wait.
Yeah,
so that means
I didn't have a 64.
You went back
GameCube
to play 64 and still liked it.
I have played very few Nintendo 64 games. Very few. Very few.
I'm sorry. Continue.
Yeah, but I have a Switch now and I love it. I use it a lot for like work travel and whenever we have our friends that have younger kids over, they love Mario Kart, they love Smash Brothers, and I like to hang out with them and play stuff with them. So I've been interested in the Switch too, but I'm curious if you guys are really excited for it, or like, are you kind of like, we'll wait and see, or because I'm a little bit like, I would take it if someone handed it to me, obviously, but like I'm
Switch 2. All right.
Yeah, cool, thanks. But I'm not too psyched to run out and deal with the out of stock signs that are inevitable.
Yeah. Blue, go ahead. You know, you're like, yeah.
Let me talk.
Oh yeah, pre-order night was a big night for me. I had tabs open in all the different retailers. I was going to make sure that I got one. And then Walmart was the one that came through for me. I joined the queue. I got one 7 minutes later, got it in my cart, got the Pro controllers as well from Walmart, Mario Kart World on its way. Like that's the game that I've been waiting for probably 9 years is Mario Kart World, because I love Mario Kart 8, have like a quadzillion hours in that. So I am super excited for tomorrow. Not sure if it's actually going to arrive on launch day or not. It's apparently supposed to arrive by 10 p.m. So we'll see.
I wouldn't hold my breath. That sounds like that might show up the subsequent day. Yeah,
but either way, at least I know a lot of people who managed to secure pre-orders from Target, Walmart, Best Buy have been then getting emails that their pre-orders were canceled out of nowhere. So at least that didn't happen to me. It's still apparently on its way. Yeah. But I'm excited.
Mario Kart World, that does look really sick. I love Mario Kart 8. I just was in a Mario Kart 8 tournament and I had a video about that on the channel. It was a very fun experience. It did not go my way. Apparently playing Funky Kong is not ideal for most.
Funky Kong in the bends.
Yeah, Funky Kong in the bends always. That's how I roll up. But it was fun. So I love Mario Kart, but I don't feel like for me there has been the one thing that I've seen. I'm like, I 100% have to have that yet. So I'm kind of, waiting on that. And of course they can figure out the inventory issues and we'll circle back around.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Donnie pretty much thinks the same.
Yeah. What could pop up that would make you like, oh, I need a Switch too? Like, is it a Mario game? There's a lot of Mario up in your
now the Mario Brothers Wonder was an amazing game. Mario Brothers, the Super
Sunshine?
Mario Brothers.
Galaxy?
No, the one from
Odyssey.
There you go.
Sorry, yeah.
Those were very fun games, very challenging games. If Donkey Kong wanted to come out with a new, like Donkey Kong 99.
Kong Bonanza?
Yeah.
Well, not so much Donkey Kong Country-ish as opposed to the old school.
Bonanza's not Donkey Kong Country. It looks like open world Donkey Kong.
Yeah. Mario Odyssey Donkey Kong style.
With Donkey Kong.
Yeah.
That game's not going to make me rush out and buy a whole new system. So it's going to have to be
probably a Mario or something. Yeah.
I can't even say what it is.
Yeah. Frank says in the chat, Night Trap 2.
Okay, done.
He said, sign me up. Sign me up.
That would take full advantage of the Switch 2's upgraded hardware.
You
Night
sons
Trap 2.
of bitches.
But yeah, I think It seems like a little bit of a middle finger for Nintendo to be shipping out of stock signs ahead of when the console's even going to launch, because it's like, why are you shipping these signs when you could be shipping consoles? But it also, I think, shows that they're making sure that everybody knows that, yeah, this is where the Switches are sold. This is where you can get them. You definitely want one, but you missed out, so you should keep checking back.
For sure. Yeah.
It's an interesting,
this is a FOMO.
interesting strat.
Yeah, this is a FOMO move. Also, as someone that has worked in retail, I gotta say, I would have loved signs like this for a bunch of shit. So, you can just put it out and you can be like, read the sign. Read the sign. We don't have any.
Yeah, but are you sure they're not in the back? I'm pretty sure you have more in the back.
I'm about to rage out right now.
Where are you going to put that sign where everybody can see it? Is it going to be on the sliding doors as you walk in? Is it going to be on a stand as soon as you walk in? It says big bold letters, "We do not have any in stock."
You cut a hole in the top and you wear it.
You're like,
just have somebody walk around the store.
Look at me. We have none in stock.
There are no Switch 2s in stock.
Leave me alone, please. God, I make $12.38 an hour. Please, just leave the store.
As a supervisor, I make $12.38 an hour.
Yeah. Please leave.
And then the customers are like, I can't read. Give me a Switch.
I'm illiterate. Give me the console, please.
Excuse me, do you have any Switch 2 consoles in stock?
Yeah.
Dude,
read the sign.
I mean, the struggle's going to be real because you got to figure, like, people in our community, we know what it took to get a Switch pre-order, but like the average person trying to get one for their kids at home or whatever,
Betty
they have
Sue's
no
like,
idea.
Little Bobby needs a Switch.
Right.
Sorry, ma'am. They're all gone.
Yeah, the Karens are going to be out in full force because their kids need one.
Full force. They will be, for sure.
They will be. All right, next up, someone donated a Concord commemorative plaque to Goodwill, and now it's going for over $3,000. The plaque, awarded to Funding Free Gunner North Star crew Chelsea Grace, celebrates the worldwide Concord launch on August 23rd, 2024. Grace was reportedly credited as outsourcing and co-dev lead, although it's unclear if she has personally donated this plaque or if it was somehow lost and donated when PlayStation shut down developer Firewalk Studios towards the end of the last year. Concord, a live service hero shooter from Sony-owned Firewalk Studios, has gone down as one of the biggest flops in PlayStation history. Amid disastrously low player numbers, Sony pulled Concord offline just 2 weeks after launch. One estimate suggested it only sold around 25,000 copies. It has proved a costly failure for Sony. Concord's initial development deal was around $200 million, but sources familiar with the agreement say the $200 million was not enough to fund Concord's entire development, nor did it include the purchase of the Concord IP rights or Firewalk itself. If you're thinking a plaque like this could be worth something for collectors and fans alike, you're not wrong. So far, it's attracted dozens of bids and is, at the time of writing, sitting on an asking price of $3,002. Got that? $3,002.
3,003. Do I hear?
The money will go to Goodwill, which helps people improve their lives by assisting them to find jobs and grow their careers. So you see, guys, Concord can be worth money somehow.
Oh, my God. Concord, like I told you guys at the start of this recording, I would consider myself a Sony guy. And Concord at no point in time seemed interesting to me. I just could not care any less about that game. And it's a shame that it led to the closure of an entire studio by how poorly it did. But, they could have probably read the room a little bit better with that one and just let it die. And then they wouldn't have had to deal with the public fallout. But I'm glad someone is making money from it. If it's going to be anybody, I'm glad it's Goodwill. They do good work in the community. So good job.
It's not the fact that Goodwill is charging this much for the plaque. It's the fact that the collective gamer community thinks that this item is so awesome and unique that they have to have a plaque for an epically failed game.
It is. It's more or less spending $3,000 on a meme.
Yeah,
Right.
this is meme culture playing out its like final form. Like we're so caught up on like, oh, let me ironically get this unironically, and it's like, bro, you just spent $3,002 plus tax to have this plaque, and I'm looking at this, and it's like,
And shipping.
in 3 months you will forget that this like is even hanging up in your wherever you hang it. It's like, okay.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if you have that kind of money, maybe donate it to Goodwill or something. I don't know. But
Well,
I
they
was
are.
thinking the same thing. It's like, can I just give you the money?
Right,
Do I
can I-
really need the plaque?
right, I don't even want the plaque. Just leave it, please.
Yeah.
What
And in 10 years, this will be, you're right, it's a meme purchase. And in 10 years, somebody be like, oh, Concord, I kind of remember that thing.
yeah, right.
Like, remind me. Oh, it's the failed Sony game.
Right.
Oh, yeah, I've got this cool plaque. Cool, bro.
Oh, right.
What are you going to do with it then?
You Fall Before Me says Concord died so Marathon could live. Oh, wait.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I'm not trying to put all my money on Marathon yet. But like, think of the YouTube content that's going to be in
Man.
15 to 20 years about
Man.
Concord.
Oh, man.
The Concord of Legend, the failed game.
Oh my God. I always, that's so funny you say that, because I always think about YouTube stuff. Well, by that point, artificial intelligence will just be cranking out new videos on everything at a rapid rate, and we will be completely replaced. But in theory, if it continues as it is, like just some like 20-year-old kid, like my dad, Concord, blah, blah, blah. It's so funny to just think about what that will be in, like 2040 when some little kid from Kansas is covering Concord.
It's almost the equivalent of ET for the Atari 2600.
Right, exactly.
Damn.
You think about the ET videos that people make nowadays, and it's pretty much the same thing. This legendary failed game.
Failed game, yeah.
The only difference is we'll take that plaque from Goodwill, we'll toss it in a landfill and say, go YouTubers, go find it.
Go find it. Nice little treasure hunt.
Epic
YouTuber.
treasure hunt. All right, last up. The Witcher 3 devs debated for so long over how naked Geralt should be in the RPG's opening bathtub scene that it became one of the longest email threads in the company's history. In a new video celebrating The Witcher 3's 10th anniversary, narrative director Philip Weber described the conundrum they faced in creating the scene. When he gets up from the bath, how much butt should we show? It's actually a more important question than you might think. This is the scene that Witcher 3 opens up on, after all, and CD Projekt had grand ambitions for its game. Literally everyone who loads up the RPG sees the cutscene, so they couldn't be offering up gratuitous Witcher cheeks. I'm here for gratuitous Witcher cheeks, by the way.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
In the end, we showed nudity in a kind of European way, he explains. It's undeniable that Bathtub Geralt has become one of the most iconic scenes in one of the world's most iconic RPGs. So iconic, in fact, that Netflix's The Witcher series was perfectly happy to repeat it multiple times. Though maybe that's just what you do when you've got Henry Cavill in a leading role. And I couldn't agree more.
You have to show everything. And in that time period, you show the dingleberries still hanging down. Because
Not after the bath.
Jesus.
he's probably a soaker. That's all he is. He just soaks in there. He doesn't really clean himself thoroughly. So.
Yeah, he just lets it, He
What
just
is
lets
with you guys and destroying every single one of my dreams?
First of all, I just want to say I'm really glad that I did not read these show notes thoroughly before going on, because these last couple stories have really just really resonate with me. Witcher cheek. So how much ass cheek is appropriate in like a scenario like this?
10 years ago, you got to think, how much ass cheek was the world really ready for?
Yeah.
I think you could get away with more ass cheek today than you could 10 years ago.
I would say so.
Well, when did Game of Thrones come out? Right around that time?
Yeah. That's a good point.
I think it was appropriate for the time frame and just how much Game of Thrones was showing. So,
Like everything.
yeah, absolutely.
I think what I'd like to see in The Witcher 4 is like more under cheek, you know, like from like a gooch shot, you know? No, like a gooch shot. Yeah. I want like a cinematic camera pan from like gooch out, you know?
Right. It's European. It's artistic.
Yeah. Right. This is art.
Cinematic gooch shot.
Yeah. I'll put the gooch shot next time. Open the ante, you know?
Blue went to film school. Did they ever talk about the gooch shot?
There were no chapters on gooch shots. I'm sad to say. I feel like my education was incomplete, and that maybe I should go back for some.
The gooch angle, I think, is the next next evolution of filmmaking. So
right. See, Frank says ass cheek physics are on the rise.
They are swamp ass physics, ass cheek physics. You know, that's all very important.
A little jizzle on the ass cheek physics.
Yeah, it's all very important. So this is the kind of hard hitting story that I like in
journalism,
my
serious
podcast. Yes, this is the stuff that I come on shows like this for, is to talk about Geralt's ass. You know?
We take our journalism very seriously here on Gamers Week podcast. Yeah. This is not just fun.
Yeah.
Though I think when they do the inevitable Witcher 3 remake, I think we can upgrade the Witcher cheeks.
How many polygons do you think they contributed specifically to Geralt's ass?
Millions, and you have to smooth the polygons
to just really like complete the cuppage.
Yeah, they had an entire team dedicated just to the ass cheek jizzle physics.
Just imagine you are the one, just every day you're just turning knobs and sculpting, shaping, just
face glued to the screen, just like
sweating over your computer, like, oh, I must make it perfect. One little mole.
And then you have to show your work in front of the supervisors, and you've got to zoom in on this angle, and this is why I did this, and this is why there's this freckle here. I really wasn't sure about this one or this one, but I went with this one.
Perfect ass freckle is key for sure.
And you get notes on the ass freckles.
Damn, what a job.
All right. Well, it doesn't seem like the show's going to get any better than that. So,
and we're done. No.
Let's move on to our top 3 new releases.
Deltarune, Chapter 3 and 4, PS5, Switch 2, PS4, Switch, and PC. Dive into the parallel story to Undertale. Fight or spare your way through action-packed battles as you explore a mysterious world alongside an endearing cast of new and familiar characters. Chapters 1 through 4 will be available on launch, with more planned as free updates. Dragon is Dead for the PC. Dragon is Dead is a hack-and-slash roguelite action platformer offering tons of customization fun with different character skill trees and legendary equipment. Overcome repeated deaths to defeat Goranian, the leader of the Dark Dragons. And repeated deaths, I already don't like that term. That makes me feel like it's a Dark Souls game.
You died.
Damn. Yeah, you died. Mario Kart World, Switch 2. What, no Switch release? The whole world is your racetrack in this massive evolution of the Mario Kart series. The courses you race on are all connected in a seamless world. Drive the paths between them to traverse mountains, forests, cities, and more. Take in the sprawling vistas as you explore at your own pace in free roam, or watch how a sudden shift in the weather can mix up a dead heat in a tense Grand Prix. Based on these amazing descriptions this week, Paul, which one are you going with?
So Deltarune for me has been really interesting. I love Undertale. I have not played any of the chapters of this game. I have them downloaded on my PlayStation 5, the first 2 chapters that were prior available. But I have this thing now where I don't like playing games that I don't feel are like complete. Like I've been holding off on Hades 2 and like all that stuff too in like early access. And I guess this is not the end of what they're offering, but I'm really interested in it because I do love Undertale. It's one of my all-time favorites. And Also, totally interested in Mario Kart World. Obviously, if I ever get a Switch 2, based on our previous conversation, but I would love to check it out, and looks really cool.
Awesome. Blue, what about you? What are you picking up this week?
Oh, I already know what your answer is.
You guys don't know me, okay? You guys don't know me.
You literally already ordered it. It's supposed to come by 10 tomorrow. So
by 10 o'clock tomorrow,
by
and I
10,
will
we'll see.
have it
Spoiler
booted
alert.
up at 10:01. It's fine. Everything's fine. So Deltarune, I too have not played any of the chapters, but I've been interested in them.
Yeah.
You're correct in that the game is going for, I believe, $24.99, and it's got the 4 chapters, and additional chapters are planned that will be included for free after that purchase price. And so Undertale is, of course, a legendary game, and I think these would be amazing. Dragon is Dead also looks really good. Like Donnie was kind of hinting at, it looks like it's kind of a 2D Dark Souls, pixel art Dark Souls. My only problem is that I have an awful lot of 2D Dark Souls likes in my backlog that I still have not finished. So while it looks amazing, I just don't know why I would need it right now.
Right.
But yeah, okay. Everybody's right. Mario Kart World is my pick for the week. It's already ordered. It's on its way. I'm probably going to not sleep at all this weekend. Just going to spend the whole weekend playing Mario Kart World. I hope you're all happy.
I love that. That's I'm very excited for you.
Thank you. Thank you.
So just real quick, Dragon is Dead. I didn't even know what that was, but I looked it up, and for a second I thought I accidentally looked up Blasphemous. I do love Blasphemous, and this looks pretty sick. I'm just looking at screenshots. You guys may have just made me switch my game. This looks really cool. I hope it's as cool as the art style looks. I will look into it more, but this is right up my alley. I love Metroidvanias and I love roguelikes, so I might have to check this out.
Yeah, in a pinch, I could play all 3 of these. But if you gun to my head, I'm picking one, Mario Kart World.
For sure.
For sure. What about you, Donnie?
This is a rare week for me where I could play any one of these games. Deltarune, Chapter 3 and 4. I've never played Undertale. I don't really know much about the series, but just looking at the quick
Paul's gonna leave.
gameplay for Chapter 3. I know, this is like 3 for 3.
You're just driving me away, Donnie. I gotta tell you, man.
But like Deltarune, I don't know much about, but just seeing what I saw on Steam, I think it's a game I could kind of get into because it looks like it's got a lot of different elements to it. So that's going to be, it's probably like 3rd on my list. Mario Kart World, if I were to get a Switch 2, definitely would play Mario Kart World with my friends. We play Mario Kart 8 on the Switch in our Patron Discord with a bunch of friends. I play with Blue regularly, and it's a very fun game. Very anxiety-inducing game when I play against her because she kicks everybody's ass. But yeah, if I were to get a Switch 2, would be picking Mario Kart World, no issue. Dragon is Dead looks freaking amazing. It's basically Castlevania in a cool modern graphic update, and I am all for this thing. It looks badass. It looks and I am picking this up as soon as I can. If it's available now, I'll buy it and I'll start playing it.
When was the last time you heard something described as bitchin'?
1999. Yeah. We almost said the same year. I was like 99, I think maybe was the last time I heard.
A generous 99.
Yeah, I was being generous to our friend Donnie here. Before we move on, let's take a quick break to talk about our sponsor. So this segment is proudly sponsored by the Retro Game Club podcast. It's a fantastic, family-friendly retro gaming podcast. In each episode, Rob and a guest pick 2 games to play and discuss, as well as news, interviews, and other topics. This week, they want to know, what is a game or system you regret selling, and why did you sell it? Send your answers to email at retrogameclub.net or follow the link in the show notes.
So what's something you guys regret selling? I know for me, and I have kind of told this before on this show, but I regret selling the Guitar Hero controllers. Because back in the day when Guitar Hero was the thing, and then there was so many entries, and then it overstayed its welcome. And then we were moving houses and lugging these giant controllers with us. And I was like, we never play this game anymore. Let's just give them to Goodwill, whatever, get rid of them. We just donated them, got nothing for it. And then 10 years later, when we decided we wanted to try playing again, we're like, oh, these controllers are like $80 now.
Right.
Yeah. Really quickly, thanks, Ryan, again for 5 more gifted subs.
Oh my
to
goodness.
the people in the chat. Happy birthday to you, buddy.
Know if you guys saw, I literally followed you guys as I was on here. I was like, oh my God, I don't follow them? This is insane. Oh, and he gifted me a sub. Nice.
Woo!
Thank you, Ryan.
Best Ryan's birthday ever.
Hey, man. Happy birthday.
In the middle of the episode, he looks over. He's like, click follow. Hopefully they don't see that.
I've been doing it the whole time.
So I literally was like, I can do this covertly. And then I clicked on it and it popped up, the Gamersician has followed you. I was like, oh my God, this is embarrassing. Oh my goodness. This is
that's awesome.
This is not how I planned this. What the hell were we talking about? So games or systems that I regret selling. So I'm not much of a collector anymore. I used to be a collector and I kind of like really thinned the herd, but this isn't a game I regret selling, but it's a game that I regret losing. And it's multiple games. When I was much younger, I was a huge Japanese role-playing game nerd. I had all of those classics from the PlayStation era, like original copies of Final Fantasy Tactics, of Legend of Dragoon, of Suikoden 1 and 2, of like Valkyrie Profile. I mean, if it's a game that goes for like $1,000 now, I probably owned a copy of it. And when my mom moved, I put them all in a large bag and I never found
this
God,
I'm going to be sick.
I never found this bag. Tales of Destiny, Valkyrie Profile, all the like original non-greatest hits versions of like every game from that era. I lost them all of them. I don't own any of them by no fault of my own other than being a 14-year-old kid that couldn't keep
put
track
them in a
of
bag.
his own shit. Yeah.
Don't need this bag. Whoop, trash.
I really think someone accidentally threw it out, and that makes me that breaks my soul in pieces just even talking about it. I had some therapy sessions about it at one point.
Not to drive the knife through your heart further, but how many thousands of dollars do you think was in that bag?
A lot.
A lot of thousands.
A lot of thousands. If I had to guess, and like I was a kid, so I didn't keep the best care of games, but I definitely had all of the original packaging. So like the booklets and manuals and like the full discs. God, probably $8,000 maybe. Yeah.
It's fine.
Like, yeah, it's fine.
It's fine.
It's all fine. This is all
it's fine.
Fine. You know?
Yeah.
It is not fine. I will never be okay. I will never financially recover from this ever. Right. Oh my God.
Paul's therapist is like, you were doing so well and now you regressed.
I did say Valkyrie Profile and I lost that one too. Yes.
What about you, Donnie?
Now, for me, I was the type of person that would trade in the older system for like a newer system. I get credit. Yeah. So I have games and stuff like that with the older systems like Super Nintendo, Sega Genesis, PlayStation 1, PlayStation 2, et cetera, just to move up. It wasn't until 2010 through the 2015s. And I'm just like, I am kicking myself for selling like my Super Nintendo, my Sega CD, like my Model 1 Sega CD, which I loved.
Damn.
And at that point, that's when I started obtaining all of these consoles that I used to have. Like if you look over here, all of the older consoles, everything you can imagine, sans like the Neo Geo and the Philips CDI, some of the obscure ones, everything else I have, box systems up there on the shelf. So I don't have really a want or a regret now because I pretty much have everything that I used to have and more.
The only regret is the tarnish on his Sega fanboy name for getting rid of the Sega CD.
Damn.
Yeah, it was a difficult time.
So I'm so glad that you said Sega CD because that and like obscure Sega related items. I was recording another podcast. I know I'm not allowed to do that, guys. I'm sorry, but
it's okay. Who are you recording with?
I was cheating on you guys. I apologize, but I know. But I was talking about the Sega channel, and I was very fortunate to have that. My mom worked for Warner Cable at the time, so I beta tested the Sega channel. And
that's a flex.
I was the coolest kid on the block for quite a while. It's so crazy to think about the Sega channel now because you look at it and it was like so far ahead of its time. Just like I was downloading games to a console in 95, you know?
Right.
It's just like absurd to think about. But that's Sega. We're always first to the party, but also got kicked out of the party first. So, you know.
Yeah, I can't believe you don't put that on your YouTube profile.
Yeah,
I should.
I beta tested
Sega
the Sega channel
enjoyer. Yeah, Sega channel enjoyer. That is what I'm going to go by now. I'm changing my name, guys. I am officially Sega channel guy.
Yeah.
Hey there, fellow collectors. donniegretro here, and tonight we're going to take a look at what you may or may not have on your shelf in the collector's corner. If you do have these, well, break out the caviar, put on your smoking jacket, and blow your nose with that $100 bill. If you don't have these, well, join the club. Tonight we're taking a look at the 5 most expensive games for the 3DO. The 3DO was a disc-based system released in 1993 that was created by Trip Hawkins, former chief executive at EA. Initially manufactured by Panasonic, other companies got their hands on creating their own models too, such as Sanyo, Gold Star, and even Samsung. The 3DO offered game publishers a royalty rate of $3 per game to develop on the 3DO system, as opposed to developing for Nintendo and Sega, which took in a much higher rate per game. The launch of the 3DO system was an epic failure, as the only game released for it at launch was Crash and Burn, and the company not manufacturing enough of the $699 console in time for a launch day. The 3DO went tits up in 1996. Now, we're not here to talk about the 3DO's epic failures, but we are here to talk about some of the games released for the system. Starting off in the 5th spot, we have Mathemagix. Yes, you heard that correctly. Mathemagix. Before the Nintendo DS and... Yeah, she's yawning. Before the Nintendo DS and Brain Age made math puzzle games trendy, Mathemagix taught 3D owners how to do cool math tricks. Ooh, that's going to get all the ladies. Ooh. If you're a wannabe math geek, Mathemagix may just be what you're looking for. And if you're just an average 3DO collector, this title isn't worth skipping over either, as it can easily elude you. A loose copy will run you about $53, while a complete in-box copy could hit $359, and a sealed copy will run you about $858. Now, these prices are per price charting, but a recent look at a sold complete in box copy of this game on eBay sold for $99. So a little bit of a disparity there.
Mathemagix. Listen, now I love a mashup of words more than anyone, clearly. I've been doing it my whole life. Mm-hmm. But Mathemagix is just diabolical. I just would see that and just be like, I love video games. I don't like math, but I love magic. So I would be really conflicted. I would not have bought that game when it came out.
No, it was kind of like Donkey Kong Jr. Math. It's like, I love Donkey Kong Jr. I don't like math, but I like the Nintendo. It's like, okay.
The lesson here is that math kills joy.
Yes. Yes. I'm going to say yes.
In fourth place is Plumbers Don't Wear Ties. This adult-themed full-motion video adventure game not only had laughably low production values, but it also had a very limited print run. However, Plumbers Don't Wear Ties may have received much of its attention in the Angry Video Game Nerd video, where he labels it possibly the most hilariously bad game ever. And full motion video is a huge compliment, seeing as how this game is nothing more than screenshots. A loose copy of this game will run you about $150, while a complete in box copy goes for about $373, and a sealed copy is around $747. Now, with the recent release of the Limited Games Run press release, some complete in box copies have sold for about $200. So I think with them making more copies of this game and flooding the market, it's brought down the price of this game.
You mean as more people realize it's crap?
Absolutely, because you go on eBay right now and see a ton of the limited run games released for this game, and it's just like, at first I wanted to have this game, but then after like watching the gameplay and it's just screenshots, it's like, no, thank you. I can totally pass. I don't have to spend money on that one.
Nintendo Switch 2 compatibility. It is supported.
Oh, nice.
So that's good to know.
I wonder if they're going to give the special enhanced version.
Finally, with actual video.
Tekin85 says, I platinumed the LRG release on PS5, and it was not worth those 2 hours of my life.
What a cool platinum, though, to show off.
Yeah. Plumbers Don't Wear Ties plat.
Right?
Yeah.
Now, that's a plaque that I would pay $3,000 for.
Absolutely. So would I.
But would you pay $3,002?
Now you're pushing it. Now you're pushing it.
That's a little over.
I'm testing you.
I'm tapping out there. Yeah.
Yep.
In third place, we have Firewall. In Firewall Man vs. Machines, you play as the Blue Arrow, fighter pilot, and computer scientist. As part of the assault force, you will pilot your cybership through 11 levels of realistic 3D, from the real world to cyberspace. Follow clues from your allies and unravel twisted puzzles to reach your goal. The only way to escape from Miracom's strange cyber world is to fight past the firewall protecting the evil computer and destroy it. This game has FMV elements with ship shooter gameplay. Think Sewer Shark, but with better than Star Fox graphics. No recent eBay sold listings for this one, but price charting has it about $298 loose, complete in box for $657, and a surprising jump of up to $1,300 sealed.
Damn.
I'm not that kind of guy.
That's beyond our income bracket.
Not that kind of guy. Yeah.
In the penultimate spot, we have Lucien's Quest. Lucien's Quest is the second rarest US release. More copies of it were made for the 3DO than our first place finisher, but unlike it, the 3DO was the only platform Lucien's Quest was released on. Combined with the fact that it is a well-regarded RPG and one of the best games for the 3DO, according to those who have been fortunate enough to acquire the copy, the demand for Lucien's Quest usually exceeds any demand for our last game. Loose copies go for $290, complete in boxes go for $999, and sealed can run you just a little over $1,000, which, if the price difference is that negligible, why not go for sealed? I mean, you're only talking about maybe a $20 price difference, so I think I'd rather have it sealed than...
Because you're not going to play it.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, wait a second. Maybe I would play it.
I'm looking at this game, and so first of all, it looks a lot like the Shining Force games on the Saturn graphically, but then this, according to Wikipedia, which we all know is always correct, it says the battle system is similar to Suikoden, which makes me really want to check this out. I've never even heard of Lucien's Quest, I don't think.
Neither did I. And then when you say Suikoden, and I saw that and Final Fantasy Tactics.
Oh, shit. Those are two things that I love.
Yeah. So maybe you do want to play this game.
Oh.
So that means you got to buy the sealed copy so that you then ethically can emulate it.
Right. Recent sold listings for loose are spot on, but the complete in box is showing to be around $1,300. So in this regards, I'm probably going to go for the complete in box version and not the sealed. Last but certainly not least, we have Dino Park Tycoon. Now, Dino Park Tycoon is the single rarest US game release for the 3DO. but can readily be found for cheap on other platforms such as the PC, and there is little non-collector demand for it on the 3DO. If you're looking for a game that tried to capitalize on the Dino craze of the early 90s, but from a managerial perspective, Dino Park Tycoon is your game. DPT can run you about $477 loose, $4,200 complete in box, and $8,500 for a sealed copy. No recent eBay sold listings to back those prices up.
I'm shocked to hear that. I'm shocked nobody's paying that. I'm also shocked to hear there's no non-collector demand for the game. You mean people don't want to play this just for its own merits?
Right. I think Ryan would. Ryan is a big sim park guy.
Yeah.
I used to love theme park on my Genesis, and PlayStation, but I'm not paying $8,200 to play Dino on a 3DO of all consoles too.
Yeah.
When I could play it on any other console.
I see. I'm thinking in the early 2000s of the Tycoons, like Flash games that you would play.
Yes.
Is this along that same vein?
Yeah, I was looking it up and it looks, like that.
It looks like it's, it is in depth with what you can do and what you can buy and how you set up everything. So, it would definitely provide a lot of gameplay, but whether that gameplay was fun and entertaining for younger kids, probably not. But for the older crowd, like the grandpas that sit there with their glasses, like, oh, what kind of dino am I going to buy today?
Oh, Velociraptor.
That seems cool.
Can I do whatever I want with my Dino Park? So I can create like a Coliseum where I pit the dinosaurs against each other.
Oh, now we're talking.
Now, if you want to buy it for like the CD, like a CD-ROM for your PC, $15 loose. I think that's way more manageable to play this game as opposed to spending $8,500 on it for the 3DO.
I would say so.
There is one current listing on eBay right now out of Canada for the 3DO complete in box, and they want $7,200 for it. So,
it's a bargain.
That's a steal. I know since it's
sold.
It's in
I'll
Canada
take it.
money. I think it's a little bit cheaper for the US.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, there you have it, folks. The top 5 most expensive games for the Panasonic 3DO per price charting. Now, if you do happen to find one or all of these games in your grandma's basement, tucked away with the rest of her 90s things, I'll be more than happy to take them off your hands. Set up a video call with your grandma, and I'll start quoting 90s R&B and rap lyrics to distract her and make her feel like she's back on the club dance floor again, so you can get them out of the house. All right?
Oh, no. How old is Grandma?
We don't want to talk about that, okay? We don't like to talk about that.
All right. Well, let's go ahead and wrap up the show. Thank you, everyone, for listening to episode 168 of Gamers Week podcast. And a big thank you to the Retro Game Club podcast, Love Retro BTW, Pixel Pawn Production Company, and Absolutely the Best Podcast, A Work in Progress, for sponsoring this episode. Don't forget to check out their links in the show notes. If you want to connect with Gamers Week, follow us on Twitter and Blue Sky at Gamers Week PC. Watch us right here on Twitch at twitch.tv/Gamers Week podcast, where we will record live every Wednesday at 8:30 Central Time. Email us at gamersweekpodcast@gmail.com. Visit our merch store at gamers-week-podcast.creator-spring.com, or if you want to do it the easy way, follow the link in the show notes. And last but not least, join us on Patreon at patreon.com/gamersweek. Finally, since you made it all the way to the end of this episode, please leave us a rating and a review to let us know how we did. We really do value your feedback. And while you're there, consider subscribing on iTunes, Spotify, or your podcast platform of choice. Paul, thank you again so much for joining us. This was so much fun. We definitely loved having you on.
Absolutely.
Real fast, before we take off, can you let the people know where to find you?
Yes. You can find me pretty much everywhere on Blue Sky, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, under The Gamersician. It's the same everywhere. I made sure to lock that down when I came up with the name, so no one could take it. Just type in The Gamersician wherever you like to hang out. You can check out my music on Spotify as well. I'm actually working on my next album right now. I release an album every year based on the music that I make on the channel, and I think this year's music is better than any of them, and I'm looking forward to announcing the album and the title and everything very soon. So stay on the lookout.
Can we find the Gamersician on an AOL chat room?
Yeah, you could definitely find me in instant messenger scenario for sure. I think I might still have
MySpace?
My login. So
His eyes got big on that one.
I would type in probably not actually, but if you get real savvy, maybe you can find my old rapper MySpace login, and if you find that, I will pay you guys in expensive old video games.
Expensive old
I
video
don't
games.
own. Yeah,
A big bag of PlayStation games.
yes, a big bag of PlayStation games from 1999. Yes, so
Awesome.
But thank you guys for having me. This was a blast, and hopefully I can join you guys again.
Absolutely. We'd love to have you back.
100%.
Yeah.
Anytime you want to come back, just let us know. We'll even kick Ryan off the show again.
Yes, get him out of here.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
All right.
Take it easy, guys.
Good night.
Peace.
Bye.
So fun story. I am from Cincinnati. I've only lived here in Philly for about 3 years, but I have an affinity for the cheesesteak. I always have. And I actually just had one yesterday. So it was a little treat. It was a little treat to myself. So yeah.
What are Tuesdays for if not a cheat day?
Exactly. Yeah.
Every
It's
day's a
Tuesdays, it's Wednesdays, it's,
Yeah. For me, it was
whatever
Tuesday.
day. Yeah. Exactly. Thank you, Bison. Yeah.
Welcome to Gamers Week Uncut.
Welcome to Gamers Week Uncut.
Welcome to Gamers Week Uncut, Patrons with Benefits. This is the unscripted, patron-only bonus cast with less editing and more dirty jokes. We don't know where the conversation will go, but we're sure it will be weird.
This fish just went right on my nipple. And I'm just like,
I Google Street Fighter 6. The first search result that comes up is people think they can see Ryu's in the Street Fighter 6 reveal.
Listen up here, kids. You're not going to want to get one of those VD STDs things, right? Make you fall off. When you go, grab a pro. You'll be doing it for America.
that was perfect.
If you want to hear weekly episodes of our patron-only bonus cast, join us at patreon.com/gamersweek.